Hey everybody, remember this channel has been shadow banned by YouTube for quite some time. So if you want to keep up with my hijinks or you just don't want to miss out on a chance to call me a slur when I say something stupid, make sure you subscribe to my channel and go over to my channel page and turn on notifications. There's a link in the upper corner of this video where you can do just that. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Shooting the Shit with Yankee. As always, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Today, what I want to know from you all out there is what do you think we need more of in the gun market today? Do you think we need more 9mm revolvers? Do you think we need 10mm revolvers? Do you think we need 10mm double action, single action semi-autos? Do you think we need 22 Magnums set up as carry guns? I mean, just whatever you think, what niche isn't being filled in the gun market, at least for you, something you'd like to have, but just isn't available. Let me know. I will love to hear what you all think. I will start us off as always. And what I would like to see more of in the gun community is more all metal, 10mm, double action, single action, semi-automatics. I'd like to see more. Not striker fired, hammer fired. I want double action, single action, hammer fired, 10mm pistols. Seems like a lot of the ones out, they're either striker fired guns or they're single action only guns. I want double action, single action, hammer fired, preferably with a decocker. And that's what I'd like to see more of in the market. There just doesn't seem to be enough of those for me. Manufacturers keep coming out with, hey, look, we made this 9mm little pistol. We made it a little bit bigger. We made this big 9mm pistol even bigger. We put fancy cuts on this 9mm. Oh, we released this gun in 9mm. We got enough 9mm. So I think we need some 10mm double action, single actions. Although I would like to see some 22 mags, a little more options for 22 mags, be it revolvers, semi-autos that are more geared towards carry, because, you know, you could make a nice little pocket gun for that, I think. So I'd like to see a little more of that, you know, not quite like an NAA Mini, but something like between a J-frame and an NAA Mini and 22 Magnum, which NAA did design one like that. It just never made it to fruition. So, yeah, that's what I think. So let's go see what everybody else thinks over here. Now, before we do that, I want to remind everyone, if you want to help support the channel, please go over to TYMPpistolproject.com. If you want to support pets and vets, you want to support TYMPPP, or you just want to help us fight back against YouTube and their 2A aggression, feel free to go over and support the channel at TYMPpistolproject.com. You can buy merchandise from there. There's a link to my merch page, and there's links to where you can become a patron, subscribe, star supporter, channel member, etc. With that being said, let's go over and see what people are saying, what they think we need more of. Edgar Cortez says, original innovation. Well, yes, I would love to see some more innovation. I just don't know how much innovation they can do, though, right now with current technology. You know, you get to a point where it's kind of like how the robotics field was in the 80s. They're like, we know how to do a lot of things, but we just don't have the technology to do it. We have to wait for the technology to catch up with the genre. So I just don't know how much more they can do with guns right now. But I would like to have them eventually. Like if you ever watch The Expanse, shows like that, they have Chiappa rhinos. They have revolvers, but they don't just shoot 6 times. It's like you put these little cartridges in them, and each cartridge has a certain number of shots. Like each one of these little cartridge shoots, you know, 10 energy shots or 10 plasma blasts or something, whatever they call it. So you get to shoot on one chamber till it's empty, and it to the next one. So I would like to see that eventually in the future. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I don't think I'll see it, but I'd like to see it. Ghost Shadow says lower prices across the industry. Yeah, well, that ship sailed. I can't think of a time when an industry decided to lower its prices. Doesn't happen very often. Let's just say that. It's like, when's the last time you saw something go down? Unless it's like a temporary spike, like, oh no, there's no toilet paper, so toilet paper is $10 a roll now. But then it comes back down to a normal level eventually. But it never comes back down to the same normal level it was before. It'll go from like $1 to 10, and then it'll come back down to $1.50, and you'll consider that the new norm. Just that's not the real number for toilet paper. I'm just giving you examples there. Paul B said, "Hail Phil, not any gun, better customer service." Well, that would be nice too. Customer service used to be a lot better. I would like to see it get back to the way it was. I've been disappointed with a lot of companies in recent past. Smith & Wesson, the one has not really disappointed me is Beretta, but it's because I haven't had to have any customer service done through Beretta. So I can sit here and say Beretta is still perfect as far as I'm concerned. And that is kind of a true statement. It's just not really honest. Let's see here. Where were we? Donna W says hammer fired micro compacts with 1.5 stack mags. Kind of like what is it does that? Is the shield? What is it does the half stack mags? But yeah, a little hammer fired tiny guns would be. I'd like to see more. But we got like the SIG. I mean, not the SIG. The C-Camp, another S word. The C-Camp. That's a little micro hammer fired guns. I bet you probably want something just a little bigger than that, like somewhere between that and like something between a C-Camp and a shield. Let's see here. Heavy J said prices of 380 to drop. That's probably not going to happen either, because they don't, unless 380 became way more popular to where they ran full-time lines for 380, which they don't. They usually just, like once a month when they have to clean the machines, they'll shut the line down, retool it, put in the tooling for the 380, run some 380 for a couple of days, and then they go right back to making 9mm. So that's one of the reasons 380 is so expensive, because they don't make much of it. More metal frames. This is Mikey D. That was Heavy J that wanted the price of 380 drop. Mike D says more metal frames, more hammer fired, less striker. They can get rid of striker fired guns completely for all I care. They can get rid of them completely. They scare me. I don't like them. Don't want anything to do with them. They can get rid of them. I mean, I got them for some range. They're okay for competition, range, things like that. But I just don't like them for carry. Don't like them. Kevin, more all metal, double action, single action, CCW pistols. Yeah, you're kind of limited nowadays to polymer or polymer. There's a couple still around in aluminum frames, but not many. And I'll even accept aluminum frames. I prefer all steel, but I'll take an aluminum one over polymer. Although I've gotten more okay with polymer over the years, but I'd still rather have metal. Chunky D says more variety and different styles of pistols and rifles. Well, yeah, we want more variety, of course. Unfortunately, it's hard to get new models into the market because established manufacturers like to stick to what they know works. They like to stick to their bread and butter. New manufacturers, it's hard for them to get a foothold in the industry because everybody's already got something they like and knows what they want, and it's hard to get them to get something different, especially because if you develop something different, if you ain't got enough money backing you to develop it and then sell it at a reasonable price and wait for the demand to build up for it, to where you make money off of volume, you're probably not going to get in the market, because it's like with the Lago Alien. People are like, $6,000-$7,000 for a gun? No, thank you. It just really hurts them. I know part of that is like if you price it high, they think it's special. I think people don't do that anymore. People aren't seeking something special anymore. They just want something good. And nowadays they can get good for $500. They can get very good for $550. So they don't less than $500. They can get good for $250. They can get very good for $500. So No one's looking for that. Oh, that one's $5,000. It must be exceptional. It must be really good. You don't need to pay that to get that now. Patrick Rowe put a super sticker in the chat there, but I can't see what it is. I'll see it in a little bit, I'm sure. Sean Bain says more defense ammo types for 22 long rifle. I don't know how much they could do with 22 long rifle to be defensive, but I would like to see more 22 Magnum. Practical Bacon says more guns in 10 millimeter and 357 SIG and ammo to match. Well, you want your ammo to match. You don't ever want to mismatch your ammo to your gun. That's a bigger faux pas than it not matching your shoes. Like if your holster don't match your shoes or your purse, they got to match. Or you're just, what are you really doing? Or you're embarrassing yourself. We got Mad Dog weighing in, says PPK in 30 Super, a pocket HK USP. Well, they came out with that little, but it ain't really a pocket gun, but or Beretta 92, a small frame 8-shot 327, or pocket Beretta 92, or a small frame 8-shot 327 micro 40s or 357 SIGs. Everything is a striker fire 9. Even rifles are boring. For Mikey D, we need more 1911 38 Supers. We do not need more 38 Supers. We have more than enough 38 Supers. One is more than enough. Johnny Mandrick says the gun market needs more cowbell or guns and calibers other than 9mm. Yeah, the 9mm thing, I know it's consolidation and it makes guns more profitable for the manufacturers. It's kind of like where, remember recently cars started saying, hey, we're just going to build all the cars the same way. And if you decide you want heated seats, well, you pay $2 a month for that. And if you want satellite navigation, you pay $5 a month for that. And people flipped out. Thinking, oh, it's got to be more. They're charging you for everything. Even though if you looked at the average time someone owned a car, most of the companies priced it to where if you owned the car for 7 years and paid for those services for 7 years, it still wouldn't add up to what you paid when you bought it as a feature. Like $2 a month for 7 years doesn't equal the $800 or $1,200 it was as an add-on. So not only are you saving money on what it would have cost up front, but you're also not paying financing on that. You're paying it monthly. So you're not paying those finance charges on the $1,000, $2,000. Like if you got $5,000 worth of add-ons, well, you paid interest on that $5,000 worth of add-ons. If you did it this way, you paid that $5,000 over 7 years and you didn't really notice it as much with no interest on it. People freaked out. And that's kind of what the gun industry is. They just did that because it's cheaper for them to make all cars the same and then turn on and off what people want and what they don't than it is to do special orders, different specs, etc. Same thing with the gun manufacturing world. They just want to get to where it's all 9mm. They make all the guns the same. The ammo companies would have to just make the same amount of ammo. They wouldn't have to do different lines and everything. They would cut their costs. That's what it's all about, saving money. Leandros1236 says, honest to God, revolvers that don't cost a mortgage payment. Looking at your snubby revolvers, $1,559. Yeah, you can spend $1,500 easy on a snub revolver. Most of them aren't that price. Like I don't even think a K6S is that price, but you could go get a Colt Python, 2.5 inch. See how much that costs you. It's gonna be like $1,200 something. And the options out there that are cheaper just they're not thrilling. I mean, the Tauruses are okay. Charter Arms, Rossi. John Heasley said, I sent you an email subject, card knife. Well, I'll deal with that later. Donnie W says, more Yankee, less Randy. Well, there should be less Randy or he's going to have a stroke. But the gun community does not need more of me. I am not popular in the gun community. That's why people act like they think that I don't know that. That one guy came on today, and I guess he said, oh, just so people know, there's 1,800 likes and 1,900 dislikes on this video about the SIG. I'm like, I mean, do you think I don't know that weighing in against a groupthink idea that you think is wrong is going to be negative for you, not positive. You know why you don't see other channels actually come out and stand against the crowd and say, hey, y'all are wrong here. You're taking things out of context. You're allowing yourself to be led. They don't do that because then people hit unsub. That's what they worry about. I don't worry about that so much. I don't mind when people unsub. I don't, if they don't want to be here, I don't want to be here either. It's when YouTube takes my subs that bothers me. Like YouTube took 100 subs even from me yesterday. Went up a certain number and went down 100. I went up, I think it was like 82 and, I went up 27 and down 100. And they do that every now and then. It's not wonderful. I don't mind the people when I check and there's when they can exit interview and they left from a video. That's just because, hey, they didn't agree. If they're the type of people that can't disagree without taking their ball going home, well, I don't really want them here anyway. You don't want to start playing ball when the ball belongs to the pissiest kid on the field. There's no point in starting to play. KC2 guns, we need true innovation such as a polymer cased ammo with double action, single action options. Other ideas welcome. Please exclude 9mm. Yeah, we don't need as many more 9mm. Polymer cased ammo. I don't know if that would work very well, but I'm sure it could be tried. I do wish we had more polymer ammo choices, or not necessarily polymer, but alloy ammo. I guess would alloy be a better word for it, or would I don't know what would be the best word for it. Don't ask me. I don't know anything. But that was KC2 Guns that just said that. John Heasley said, missed my first super chat. Did I? Maybe it didn't show. Hold on. Let me go over here and see if one came in before. And it didn't show up in. Because sometimes if someone makes a super chat before it goes live, I'm not seeing one I missed. Let me go back and search through here. I saw are you talking about the one where you said you sent an email? I saw that and I read it. Is that the one you're talking about? Because I read that one. Let me see. Oh, no. Yeah, I read that. The gun market needs more cowbell. I read that. Because someone over here said, was that you over here? It said, I have a fever. And I was like, what, for more cowbell? I read that. Don't tell me I didn't read your chat when I read your chat. I swear, you people. Patrick Rowe left a sticker. I think I already said that, though, didn't I? I don't know. 545x39 said we need more individual supporters, left, right, and center. Well, we do need to grow the TYMP, that's for sure, or else the Second Amendment is going to go away eventually. I think the whole Constitution is going to go away eventually. I think what we're going to do eventually is the country's going to split off. It's going to become different, at least 2 different countries, maybe 3. And I'll be screwed over. Well, I'll be screwed as far as personal freedoms go over here. We'll be the more successful of the 3 nations because, California is like the 3rd largest economy in the world. So as long as we're with California, we'll do well. New York, that area up there, the New England area, they'll do well. But the rest of the country is going to fucking fall apart. It's going to become a 3rd world nation. They just don't have the money. They're all taker states. And they're falling apart as a taker state. West Virginia is a huge taker state. It's falling apart already with taking more money than they make. Texas is a huge taker state. People think, Texas is stand on its own economy. No, Texas is a taker state. They couldn't survive without federal funds. And they have some of the highest poverty rates in the nation. So, yeah, I don't want to be part of the Southern group. You'll all have, you'll be given personal rights to an extent until they take them away from you to stop rebellions. But yeah, financially, you're not going to do well. Just look at the maps that it'll show you 4 little red dots. One biggest dot's California, another one is Seattle, and another one's New York. And they'll be here's where 80% of the country's GDP comes from. Where are we at? Feliciani said 10 millimeter Beretta. See, that'll lose my sub saying that, but it's just the truth. You can't deny the truth. Phyllis Shanice 10 millimeter Beretta 9 series. Okay, yeah, I'd like to see one of those too. If you can get and make one of those, get and make me one too. I want one. So get two. Officer Tater Hater said an honorable mention is more pew pews in 357 SIG. Well, yes, that would be. I would like to see more 357 SIG offerings too. Whether we're going to get those, I don't know, but I would like to see some. All right, we just got a couple more here, and we'll be done weighing in here for this part of the chat. Officer Taterhead, who says, I know you missed my first super chat. Which one? I don't think I did. Motor Racer Chris says, we need more 38 super. You know, this is all opinion. Nobody's wrong. I told everybody that from the beginning, and that's true, except for that. We do not need more 30 super. He is the first person who's absolutely wrong, because we do not need more 38 super, period. Period, as they say. But that does it for today. I want to thank everybody for weighing in. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping the conversation going. Seems like people mostly want more 10 millimeter, more 357 SIG, basically anything not 9 millimeter. They want more metal guns. They want some micro compact guns. They want what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot what we talked about. But you know what I'm saying. You followed along. People want more innovation. They want something different. They don't want just, hey, look, we put different cuts in the slide, or look, we made the barrel a half-inch longer. Hail Phil, not any gun, better customer service. I read that already. I thought, okay, I thought I may have skipped that one, but I read it. But I want to thank everybody, like I said, for participating. I appreciate it. How about you out there in YouTube land? What do you think? What does the gun industry, the gun market need more of right now, instead of just variations of guns that already exist and more 9 millimeter striker fired guns? Let me know in the comments section below. If you want to weigh in on one of these topics in person, come to the live chat. We do them every night at 6 p.m. I hope to see everybody tomorrow. Until then, thanks everybody for coming. Like I said, if you participated, special thanks. See you tomorrow. Till then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again. Hey everybody, Yankee here. I just want to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take kickbacks. We don't do discount codes. We don't take money from advertisers. And we definitely don't take money from big gun groups that want to tell us how to feel about things. So if you want to be part of the good things we do on this channel, please go over to TYMPpistolproject.com, my website. There's a link in the upper corner, and either buy some custom merchandise or sign up for Subscribestar or Patreon. You can even get some pretty cool patches over there. So please go over if you can and help support the channel.